ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम्। We'll do the prayers for Srimad Bhagavatam as well, invocation prayers. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Sushrusho shraddhadanasya vasudeva kataruchi syan mahatsevaya vipra पुण्यतीर्था निषेवना। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। तदा रजस्तमो भावा कामलोभादयश्च ये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति। एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते। भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining for morning Bhagavatam class reading. And I hope and wish we will all have a wonderful Krishna conscious New Year 2021. That we will start. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 6. We will read the text. नतास्मते नाथ सदा कृपङ्कजं विरिञ्च वैरिञ्च सुरेन्द्रवन्दितम् परायणं क्षेमम् इहेच्छतां परम् न यत्र काला प्रभवेत् परा प्रभु. One more time. नतास्मते नाथ सदा कृपङ्कजं विरिञ्च वैरिञ्च सुरेन्द्रवन्दितम् परायणं क्षेमम् इहेच्छतां परम् न यत्र काला प्रभवेत् परा प्रभु. What about meanings? Nata, bow down. Sma, we had done so. Te, unto you. Sorry, first one was Natha, and this one is Natha, O Lord. Sadha, always. Angri, Pankajam, the lotus feet. Virincha, Brahma, the first living being. Vairincha, sons of Brahma, like Sanaka and Sanatana. Sura Indra, the king of heaven. Vanditam, worshipped by. Parayanam, the supreme. Kshemam, welfare. Iha, in this life. Ichatam, one who so desires. Param, the highest. Na, never. Yatra, wherein. Kala, inevitable time. Prabhavet, can exert its influence. Para, transcendental. Prabhu, the supreme Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The citizens said, O Lord, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, the four sanas, and even the King of Heaven. You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. You are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. Purport. The Supreme Lord is Sri Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and other authorized Vedic literatures. No one is equal to or greater than him, and that is the verdict of all scriptures. The influence of time and space is exerted upon the dependent living entities who are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. The living entities are predominated Brahma, whereas the Supreme Lord is the predominating absolute. As soon as we forget this clear fact, we are at once in illusion, and thus we are put into threefold miseries, as one is put into dense darkness. The clear consciousness of the cognizant living being is God consciousness, in which one bows down unto Him in all circumstances. So we will try to understand the verse a little more. So the context of verse text 6 is obviously following the previous text, and Krishna uh, is just entering the Dvaraka from Hastinapura. So, and the devotees from the yesterday's discussions covered uh, which set the scene of entering the Krishna entering Dvaraka, and what are the feelings of Dvaraka vasis, and how they immediately responded, and they came to see Krishna and offer their prayers. So this is the first verse in the set of prayers that Dvaraka vasis will be offering. So in the text, they're acknowledging in this text the supremacy of the Lord as a supreme personality of Godhead. In fact, that is the mood of the Dvarakavasis. So Dvarakavasis worship the Lord with opulence, right? So, and they have this mood, and they know Krishna as the supreme, the Lord. Whereas in devotees of Vrindavana, they don't acknowledge that fact apparently. They see him as a cowherd boy. And we'll hear they're acknowledging, Dwaraka are acknowledging that even the Lord Brahma, Virincha and Vairincha, who are four sons of Lord Brahma. So Prabhupada is saying here, uh, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma. Brahma is Virincha here. And the four sanas, the four Kumaras are Vairincha, sons of Brahma. Surendra is Lord Indra. Vanditam, they always worship worship Krishna. So that's one fact. Another fact they are acknowledging is, you are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. So that is, whoever is taking up the path of spiritual perfection or self-realization, specifically mentioning about the devotees and other paths as well. For all of them, ultimately, the goal is the Lord Himself, right? You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. So that is this one, this third line. Parayanam kshemam ihechatam param. So he is the shelter of all the uh, devotees who are trying to uh, uh, achieve the highest benefit of life. And then in different forms actually. That is, for devotees, it's the personality of Godhead itself we consider as a goal, whereas if it is yogis, for them Paramatma as a Janardana they meditate on, so he becomes their goal. Whereas for Gnanis, Brahman becomes goal. So in any case, for all the transcendentalists who are achieving for the highest benefit of life, the Lord is the ultimate shelter. And that's about the second line of the verse. The last one, in fact, this is the one where Prabhupada spends in short purport. Also, he spends most of his time on this particular aspect of the verse. Nayatra kala prabhavet para Prabhu. That is, you are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. So the Lord is beyond the purview of the time and space as we experience in this material world, because He is a Lord of the time, right? And read the purport, points of the purport once more. I am not sure where this particular first one was covered. Natha smate natha sadangri pankajam. Maybe based on the synonyms, probably this is Dvaraka himself. They are offering their prayer, that they are bowing down unto the Lord, who is Sadangri Pankajam. So, but I could not make it out apparent from the synonyms and translation. And the purport is, so as I said, Dvaraka the mood is seeing Krishna as the Lord, the Supreme Lord. So, and Prabhupada, based on this verse, is directly concluding here that the Supreme Lord is Sri Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and other authorized Vedic literatures. So, no one is equal or greater than him, and that is the verdict of all scriptures. So obviously, we as devotees hear this particular fact from the day one actually. So for us, maybe it's very obvious fact, even though we may not have realized it. But this is not an easy fact to come about. Uh, just because we are in the disciplic succession and following proper Guru Parampara and scriptures. So that is why we are able to come to this conclusion uh, so easily. Uh, but it is not so for many people actually. And uh, as I was reading this text, I was wondering what are these references from Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, and other Vedic literatures, primarily Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, so some of the verses where Lord is considered or seen as the supreme personality of Godhead in the Bhagavad Gita, uh, 10:8, chapter 10, text 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam pudabhava samanvita. That's one verse which talks about the supreme personality of Godhead. And another one I see is 7.7, where matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam srute agni gana iva. Of course, there are many verses. I'm not sure. Uh, uh, Confirming to this specific fact that Krishna is established as the supreme personality of Godhead. And in Brahma Samhita, obviously, we know the first invocation mantra of the Brahma Samhita, as well as uh, uh, yeah, I'm forgetting that. No, the first one.
Ishvara Parama Krishna.
Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. So that particular verse. And of course, entire Brahma Samhita prayers itself establishes Govinda as a supreme Lord. But the first one is very, very clear, direct in that sense. And other Vedic literatures, like in Bhagavatam, there are many, many places, but one prominent place, and the is 328, where again I'm forgetting that verse. Yeah, it starts with Ete Chamsa Kalapam Sam, like that. Krishnastu Swayam Swayam Bhagavan Swayam, like that. So these are all scriptural statements that is confirming Lord Sri Krishna, particularly in the form of cowhead boy, is the supreme personality of Godhead. Not Narayana, not other forms. They are all considered as plenary portions, or portions of the plenary portions, those expansions and avatars and many, many extensions of the Lord, right? But the Lord Sri Krishna is considered as the supreme personality of Godhead, right? So one way is we can accept this fact blindly, just because yes, ISKCON is following, or devotees are following. But the other way is there is a process to accept, right? So, but it takes effort. It's not faith is like a process, and particularly this particular way of learning is called Shabda Pramana. The Pramana from where we are learning is Shabda Pramana, and Shabda Pramana is not cheap actually. It's not just I have some faith on few people and I understand it. Of course, that is a starting point, and but it won't sustain actually. So the primary aspect of Shabda Pramana is hearing, Tatvidhi. That's when we know what is a Pramana as actually. So hearing or reading from Srila Prabhupada books, that way we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada. So with that, we will know, or we will all know, or we will try to know what is actually it is about the information part. We will know, and when we are reading or hearing, obviously we may not understand everything. So we will have some inquiry. So after that, with the pranipadana pariparashnena, so we will have inquiry as well. Uh, so we will try to inquire more about the subject matter, about the Shabda Pramana, and then uh, even that is not uh, enough. That will only improve our knowledge, aspect of the knowledge. Then at the same time, we have to do service, pariprashnena sevaya. So the third important aspect as well. So that is serving the guru and serving the devotees, and serving the Lord, following the devotional service in the food. So that one makes the process of Shabda Paramana complete, in the sense that by doing the service aspect, uh, with the understanding of the knowledge or information we gain from reading and hearing, so that service part solidifies our understanding and we become realized. So we will know by the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The cowherd boy is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, so it's a lot of progressive journey. It's not easy. At the same time, it's not difficult also. Uh, uh, but it's a journey. So when we go through this journey, then the Shabda Pramana reveals to us, uh, right? So that's how we actually know in the realized state that the Lord is the Supreme. So okay, I want to still say this thing. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, and yeah, that particular method of learning is again comes from Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. I forget the verse. I think 34 or 24. I guess 34. Uh, the process of Shabda Pramana. And for our line of parampara, the Shabda Pramana is Bhagavatam itself. So, in fact, Jiva Goswami confirms in Tattva Sandarbha that even though Shabda, in a pure technical terms, it is the Vedas, the four Vedas, but actually uh, the knowledge coming from Vedas is a kind of what do you say? It's he systematically proves that it's not thorough, and he establishes the fact that how by reading Srimad Bhagavatam and knowing Srimad Bhagavatam uh, as a Shabda Pramana, we will know everything what we have to know, including the Lord, including the Jivas, including the Prakriti, all the aspects of the reality. Right? We will know just by knowing the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the emphasis given. So for us as ISKCON, who are followers of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam, that is why it becomes so prominent, and that is our ultimate pramana to learn anything about anything actually, and obviously about Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So that is the aspect of the first line of Srila Prabhupada. Then he talks about the influence of time and space is exerted upon dependent living entities, who are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Because the verse talks about the time and space cannot exert influence on the Lord, but the living entities are implicated by it. right? And Prabhupada is emphasizing that point. The living entities are predominated Brahma. So Brahma here also means a living force. So we are living sparks as part and parcel of the Lord, Supreme Brahman. So we are considered as a Brahma, but it's not. We should not consider it as a Supreme Brahma or Brahman, the effulgence coming from the Lord. So the living entities are predominated Brahma, whereas the Supreme Lord is a predominating absolute. So he is the absolute. And as soon as we forget this clear fact, we are at once in illusion, and thus we are put into threefold miseries, as one is put into dense darkness. This is the influence of the time. So even in the creation of this material world, when Mahavishnu glances, time factor, all our previous karma and all the ingredients for material creation, everything will be injected, uh, right? When he glances at the Pradhan. Uh, so that way the time starts and it influences us, put into these threefold miseries in the material world. So that is the influence of time. And the clear consciousness of cognizant living beings is God consciousness. So when we are not covered with that material consciousness, so we will be under a clear consciousness in our true ego. We will be able to recognize as our true position, and we become God consciousness, in which one bows down unto him in all circumstances. That means we recognize the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what Dvaraka are seeing now. That's the connection. And in this we can learn here that demigods are know about this conscious. They know that they are conscious about the position of the God. So that is why they are bowing down here. So you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, four sanas, even the king of heaven. They are all bowing down before the Lord. So that will happen only when we are the conscious of the Lord. So whoever becomes purified and at the level of recognizing the Lord as the supreme, obviously the next is they surrender unto the Lord. So Dvarakavasis obviously they are surrendered devotees, and in fact they are pure devotees. They are just here in Dwaraka to perform the pastimes with the Lord. Otherwise they are eternal associates, but they are recognizing that fact that the demigods are surrendered unto the Lord. And also you are the ultimate rest for those who are aspiring to achieve highest benefit of the Lord. So the devotees and whoever is in the spiritual path, the Lord is the ultimate shelter. So I will stop here, and to conclude the text, Dvarakavasis, this is the first prayer in the set of prayers by Dvarakavasis. We have seen the previous devotees covered the scene, setting the scene of these prayers. So now they are talking or praying the Lord after seeing him and acknowledging the Lord as a supreme personality of Godhead, and how all the demigods are subordinate to him, and how time does not influence the Lord's appearance or disappearance. Like he is coming and going to Dwaraka or Hastinapura, time has no influence. So I will conclude there, and I will invite for more discussions, questions, or any corrections. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I'm just thinking, Prabhu. I mean, Dwaraka Vasis, they treat Lord as the supreme. I mean, supreme personality of Godhead. Uh, I mean, how is it? I mean, I think there is, from rasa perspective, it is maybe more than what Vaikuntha Vasis will have it. Um, but then I think if I remember in other places, again this point is coming to me back. So I think Uddhava was talking about when we were reading Bhagavatam, right? So he was primarily talking about the Dwaraka Vasis. He was not talking about the Vrindavan Vasis in all. So I don't know how Dwaraka Vasis were feeling. I think when I mean different things I'm remembering when Krishna is coming from different palaces and becoming one and going out. I don't know how they were looking at him, but with all those things and how are they able to have that relationship with him? So from here it looks like from these prayers, I mean they're treating him as the supreme lord, but from the day-to-day activities perspective, how how did they treat that made Uddhava to make that statement? I was thinking, if you have some.
I think my understanding is, Prabhu, uh, the mode, even though they have their relationships and rasas, eternal rasas, but the mode is they are cognizant or conscious of the fact that he is a supreme personality of Godhead. Uh, Whereas in Vrindavan, that fact doesn't come out apparently. They always forget that he is the supreme Lord, and they play with him and things like that, right? So that won't happen in Dwaraka. Whereas in Vaikuntha, probably the mood of reverence even more than Dwaraka. Uh, so that's what my understanding is. Just that there no like Uddhava clearly knows, even though he is eternal associate of the Lord, he is also very intimate associate of the Lord. He clearly knows that the Lord is a supreme person. Similarly, Narada Muni knows, right? So they have their relationship, but at the same time they know the fact, and I don't know uh, uh, how details and all, how that affects other relationships, and that fact, knowing that fact, how it affects their own relationships, I'm not sure about that.
Thank you.
Okay, I think so.
Mataji, we can't hear you. Satrupa Mataji unmuted.
Oh,
That was accidental, but thank you very much, Prabhu. Yeah, your question was very high, I think, for me. But one thing that I remembered was we also hear that I, it's a not exactly speculation, but we do hear that in Vrindavan when Krishna was having lunch with everybody, all the cowherd boys, or during the dance pastime at night with the gopis, we hear that each of the cowherd boy and cowherd girl feel that Krishna is only with me. I don't know how all pervasive it is in Dwaraka. So as of we know, only Narada Muni saw everything all together at once. So it is a possibility that his mystic potency is so powerful. And we always hear also from um, different pastimes that the Yogamaya potency covers and uncovers the devotee to facilitate pastimes. So if Krishna wants to reveal, one will be able to see like the other Dvaraka vasis might be able to see everything and still be thinking that it's just, okay, it's just Krishna, or reverence may come out, and then at other times that they may see only one, or only whatever Krishna reveals at that time. For Narada Muni, Krishna revealed basically, right? So that's what was coming to my thoughts when you shared about how it will affect their relationships. That's what came to me.
Thank you.
It's not an absolute response. It's just my thought and remembrance from other parts. So.
Thank you very much, devotees. So it's 5:30. So again, thank you very much for joining on this day of New Year. I hope we will all have a very happy Krishna conscious New Year 2021. With that, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रील